I'm writing this in the latter part of 2017. Halloween is just around the corner, actually, which is why most of you will probably dismiss what I'm going to tell you as just some made up story to creep you out and get you into the Halloween spirit. But I can't stress enough that what I'm about to tell you is not a work of fiction. It all started when I stopped taking my medications. I suffer from clinical depression, generalized anxiety disorder, PTSD, and a touch of schizophrenia. You may be thinking at this moment, wow, you must be nuttier than shit. And you're right. There are angles in my personality that may seem a bit off to all you normies out there. But for the most part, I am a stable person. When I'm on my medication, that is. When I'm not on my medications, I become an irrational mess of emotions. Happy to sad, sad to angry, angry to crying, all in the span of an hour. Something as simple as a smell is enough to trigger one of my fucked up childhood memories. I've tried going off my medications once before because, well, I was gaining so much weight by taking them. It was embarrassing. And I know it was the pills because I wasn't eating any more or less than usual. I still smoked like a chimney at the time, so I had that on my side too. Regardless, I still gained a shit ton of weight, and my moods were very unstable. Eventually, I had to get back on my medication. I was not ready to go without them yet, and much to my disappointment, I just wasn't able to function without them at the time. The feeling sucked. I felt like I had failed, and I really felt like I was ready to live without them. That was my first attempt to live without these medications. That was a few years ago, though. Today is a new day. I was ready to finally kick these pills to the curb once and for all and take full control of myself and my life once again. I was going to hit the gym, lose all this unnecessary weight, and I decided to keep a log, a diary of sorts, to help me remember all my progress and to keep me going even if my depression was trying to keep me down. These are my entries. Day 1, without medication. I feel so great. I went to the gym and worked up such a sweat. I felt so great. Gotta keep this up. We'll be looking like $1,000,000 in no time. Day 3, without medication. Woke up this morning feeling a little woozy, but I know that's the withdrawal of my meds having its effects on me. Going back to the gym today, just gotta keep the routine and gotta stick to the plan. Day 6, without medication. Almost a whole week without taking my medication, and I'm doing great. Besides for a bit of lightheadedness, I'm remaining stable. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cancel the gym today, as it seems like it wants to rain. Day 8, without medication. So it's been looking like it wants to rain for like 2 days now, but still hasn't. And my neighbor below me, Maggie, looked at me strangely when I talked to her earlier while she was outside, leaning up against a building, smoking a cigarette. I was taking the trash out to the dumpster and casually said to her, "Looks like it wants to rain, huh?" She just shot me a confused look. Not not a look like "don't talk to me," but one of those "what are you talking about" confused and puzzled looks. It just didn't make any sense. I just brushed it off. 10 days without medication. Still nothing but black clouds and no rain. I've waited long enough. Screwed up my routine enough. I was going back to the gym, and nothing was going to stop me from getting back on my plan and keep me from my routine. I put my shorts on, my white tank top, and my tennis shoes, and started the power walk to the gym. Halfway there, I felt a cold drip hit my forehead. Are you kidding me? I thought to myself. Of all the days that it could have rained, it chose to rain on the day I decided to go back to the gym. Typical. I just wiped it away from my face. But when I looked down at my hand, there was a black, gooey smear. It was sticky and it tethered in between the arches of my fingers. What the fuck? I yelled out loud. I yelled it so loud, an elderly couple walking on the opposite side of the street stopped and stared at me. I just froze. I didn't understand. I didn't understand where that could have came from or what was about to happen next. And indeed, what happened next was so horrible that it will stay engraved into my memory forever. The black clouds above me opened up and began pouring down loads of that same black sludge all over me and everything and everybody else. My white tank top was soaked and saturated with it instantly. I looked back at the old couple across the street. They were soaked in the black sludge as well, but they didn't show any signs of noticing it. In fact, they didn't react at all. They were just staring at me like I was insane. I ran home in complete and utter horror. I ran up the stairs to my apartment door, opened it, and slammed it shut. I stripped down naked right there by my door, took my clothes and put them in an old shopping bag, and threw them into the closet. I ran over to my television, still wet and sticky with the black sludge all over me, and turned on the news channel to see what the hell was going on with the weather. But what the news had to tell me was not what I expected to hear. They were reporting clear skies, 78 degrees on a late September day, and no rain or thunderstorms for at least a week. No, I said to myself. No, that isn't right. I ran over to my apartment window to see every house, every car, every person coated in that black rain. I looked back at the TV, and it was showing clear blue skies and sunshine. I held my head with both hands, wondering if I was going insane, or if the world had just gone mad, or if global warming was real, or if whatever, or if it was doomsday or something. Without another moment of hesitation, I ran to my bathroom and took a shower. I frantically scrubbed my body with soap, washing off the black rain and watching it drain into the drain. "12 days without medication. Maybe this isn't real. Maybe I do need my pills. I mean, that has to be it. Because none of this was happening before. I don't want to look outside. I can't look at it. I didn't know what it was, and the news wasn't saying anything, and the radio was just playing music like it normally does, and everyone was going about their lives. I seemed to be the only one who could see the black rain. And I couldn't understand it. I blacked out all of my windows with blankets and towels so I wouldn't have to look at it anymore. But I can still hear the rain and thunder outside. Maybe I should turn the radio and the TV on full blast to drown out the noise. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Day 13, without medication. I had an unexpected visit from my neighbor Maggie. I opened the door slightly to see a smile on her face and a look of concern. "Chris? What's been going on? I'm a little worried." She took a peek into my apartment and made another one of those puzzled looks she gave me the other day. "Can I come in for a minute?" she asked. I paused for a moment and undid the chain on my door. She stepped into my blacked out apartment and looked around. She went to the window and took down the blanket I had hung there. "A little sunlight would do you some good," she said. I was silent for a couple seconds and I confessed to her, "I don't see sunlight anymore." Looking at the black clouds, still raining black sludge outside. "I know," she said. I took my eyes off the window and focused on her. "You see it too?" I asked, curious and ready to be relieved. "See what?" she asked. My hopes that someone else could see the black rain other than me was instantly dead when she asked that. "Never mind," I quietly responded. Then there was an awkward silence as she turned her attention to the pill bottles on my kitchen table. She picked one of them up and looked at it. "I have a sister who's mentally ill," she said, breaking the silence. "I recognize some of these prescriptions. I remember she said she felt like the pills were masking how ugly the world really is, and how she'd rather see it for what it is rather than live the lie." I lifted my head to meet her eyes. "So she quit taking her medication?" I asked, and a look of sadness washed across her face. "Yeah," she answered, "and she killed herself." And I felt so bad that I carelessly just asked her that question, and I said to her, "Oh God, I'm so sorry to hear that." She put the pill bottle back down on the kitchen table, and she said to me, "Look, whatever it is you're seeing, it isn't real. And if it is, there are still good things in this world. There are still good people, and that alone is worth living for." A tear escaped my eye when she said that. She took a bottle of medication off the table again and she said sincerely, "Please, just take your medicine. Please." There was another awkward silence. She put the bottle back down on the table and hugged me and left my apartment, closing the door behind her. I just stood there, staring out the window at the black rain still falling. I then looked over at the kitchen table where my medicine was, and for the first time in 13 days, I took my goddamn medication. I slowly, as each day passed, took my medications at the times I was supposed to take them. The black clouds indeed began to fade away, and the black rain disappeared. The sun came back, and the world returned to normal, and any trace of the black rain having even existed was gone. Was the black rain a delusion? Do these pills I take mask the world around me? Do they show me a lie and not the reality? I discovered the answer to that a few days ago, having discovered something that has kept me up thinking the last few nights. The other day, I was gathering up my clothes to go do laundry when I came across a crumpled up shopping bag in my closet. I remember throwing it in that shopping bag and hurling it into the closet that day that the black rain fell. The bag was visibly damp. With a little bit of hesitation, I opened it up, and my white tank top had black stains all over it.